Hey, what is it? Is it a clock or is it a cash register? Well, it's kind of both. This clock was actually made for the National Cash Register Company, and it was an award given to top salespeople in 1953. If you look at the top here, it says CPC, and that stands for Century Point Club. So it must have been a program put up by this organization for their top salespeople. Now, this is a pretty close rendition of a cash register made at the time. See all the buttons? Buttons don't do anything, but each of those buttons was hand cut, and the numbers and symbols were hand drawn on each of the buttons, and holes are drilled in for each of those, and glued in. So this clock has a lot of detail and it's very well made. From what I read about it, the clock is handmade. It's made out of steel, welded together and painted. Movement is a standard Penwood. Penwood was a big manufacturer of digital clocks back in the day. Detail's quite nice. The drawer is open. Put stamps or coins in there. You really have to take out both drawers to set the time. You reach your fingers up there, and you move the digit that you want to. It's actually easiest to move the first and third. The middle one's kind of hard to get at. Now you'll see three initials. Those initials were the recipient of the clock. National Cash Register is printed on the front. I'll turn it around. This unit is made of steel. It's hand painted. Well, it's actually sprayed, but it's all hand done. And these were not available to the public. They were only available to salespeople who work for this company. There's the bottom. Now those screw holes, those are your access points to remove the top portion of the case. Now I actually took it apart so I could clean the numerals and the plastic cover. Getting the screws out was easy. Putting them back in was a real chore. The one up front wasn't too bad. I could just reach in with my finger and hand tighten it, but the one in the back, I had to do some creative access. I took a pair of needle nose pliers. I had the whole unit upside down. I was able to get the screw into the hole, and then I fished a screwdriver into the hole and was able to tighten it. It took me several tries. Clock weighs about 5 pounds. It's probably the coolest piece I've ever found that has a clock in it. I got it last week at an estate sale. I saw a picture of it, knew I wanted it. It was still there when I got there, about an hour, half hour after it opened. But she measures about 6 by 5 by 4. As I said, it's a really nice piece, and I've never seen one before. They made them in '38. That's when they started. And at that time, there was an 11-year calendar that was changed with thumb wheels at the top. And they made these into the 60s. So ones from the 30s, 40s, 50s were rounded like this one. The 60s ones were more, they were more angular and squared off. So not quite as good looking. But there you have it. Rare piece. Does run. It's a great clock. Any comments? Please leave them. But if you ever see one of these, I would grab it. They're not very common. All right, have a good one.